Hey yo guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? Well, I can tell you what's going on with me. Been fishing a bunch of times this week. Went out and tested out the new Zebco 33. I really had to learn how to cast a spin cast, and then I went back to the bait caster and forgot to spool the line and bird's nested the crap out of it. Yeah, always thumb your line. You can't do that with a spin cast, but with a bait caster, if you don't, bird's nest. But I went out on Tuesday-ish, I think it was, and threw some lures around with the old Zebco. Well, you know what? Here, I'll just show you the video now, and you can check that out. Today we are doing a different kind of fishing. I brought everything with me. I really gotta fix this bag so it actually holds the rods properly, but whatever. I brought the Sugaling casting rod in case the Zebco explodes, because I want to test out that Zebco 33 that I bought on a previous video to see how well it works. And that would be this reel right here. Sorry if the camera's on a bit of an angle, but I'm just gonna get this thing all spooled up and see how she do. So this is like a 5-foot rod, your typical spin cast style rod, nothing fancy. And the other night when I was at Walmart, I bought some hooks and stuff. Just a matter of if I can find them in here. So I got some mustads here. We're gonna rock one of these. We're gonna do a drop shot setup. So these are a size 4 hook. I don't have any live bait on me, so I'm just gonna rig up like a minnow or something. And by a minnow I mean like a soft plastic minnow. Now, where the hell are my weights? I also bought this thing of hooks. It was cheap. I think it was like $3. Are they going to be good? Probably not, but it's going to put a bullet weight on. But I think instead just going to put a split shot on the bottom. Should be enough to get this out there. All right. The drop shot rig on this friggin' Zebco spin cast, a 33. Now, what soft plastic are we gonna throw on here? Let's throw on one of these guys, a little power bait. Yeah, there's already people on the side that I wanted to fish, so we'll just come over here and fish. Not a big deal. Hook that guy on like that. Grab this stupid rod. This thing up a bit. Make sure the bite alert is turned off. We got a little bit of drag. No drag. No drag. A little bit of drag. Okay. Alright. Let's see if we can sail this thing out. I have no idea where the hell that went.
A few moments later.
Oh, we got one. We got one. I don't know what the heck it is, but it's pulling drag. Whatever it is, it just made my worm official. Probably a sunfish. Nope, it's a big dirty sheephead. Nope, it's a big bass. Just gonna tire him out here. Gets seeing this, but or did I foul hook him? Oh no, I got him right in the mouth. I'm gonna bring him up over here. Oh, I broke off. Oh no. Oh, that was dumb on my part. But, well, that guy's got a hook stuck in his face. This is why I need a net, I think. Well, that's upsetting. That's really upsetting. But that was a big bass. That had to be at least a good 2-pounder. Just the Zebco line is pretty, I'm not used to fishing with mono.
Now, I thought that fish snapped me off, but then I thought about it afterwards on my way home, like, how did that fish break that line? Like, it broke it like it was nothing. And then I remembered, I had that set up as a drop shot rig, where I had a weight on the bottom, and then the hook, and originally I was fishing it with just a simple little plastic minnow on it, sailing it out and dragging it across the bottom to see if I could entice a bite. What I ended up doing was cutting the line after the hook, and the way I tied that hook on, of course it slipped off. Like, I'm surprised the fish didn't break it off mid-fight. Like, I'm surprised he broke it off when I tried to horse him out of the water. You probably noticed on that video that there was a lot of wind noise. Well, don't worry about that, because you're probably saying, Adam, start using this GoPro again for the fishing stuff because that other GoPro has a lot of wind noise. I got a package in the mail from Amazon. I ordered something to fix the wind noise, hopefully on the GoPro session. Now, let me just say, I was a little upset about this package. Why? Because the company who delivered it, they normally like leave it somewhere where it's hidden and out of the public's eye. This delivery guy left it right on my front patio with nothing blocking it, right against the road. Good thing I don't live in an area with a lot of freaking crazies walking around, because this would have been stolen. Now, what's in here, I can't even remember. I know there's the GoPro windscreen, but I don't know what else. So let's go ahead and grab the Cabela's pocket knife here and start chopping away. If we can. We can, and we will. Like, this package, you can, it got beat on, you can tell. Anyway, I know some of this stuff is vitamins, because I ordered another supply of ashwagandha because I love this stuff. It's amazing. Does the body good. Definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend anybody take it. We got some airspace. Basically this stuff here, you can make some pretty sweet sounds with it by going like this. Yeah, that's always a good time. And then we got some more L-carnitine, the mutant variant. I like this version better than the other stuff that I bought. I find it hits harder, wakes you up more, just gives you more energy throughout the day. What the heck is this? Oh, yes, it's the upgrade for the 3D printer behind me. I bought the metal extruder because on the one that came stock with the version 2, you can't adjust the tension on it. Somebody was like, oh, unscrew this one screw, but if you do that, it actually takes the arm off that provides tension. There's no tensioner screw. And last but not least, the Windsock for the session. Now, what this does, I'm probably gonna have to take the session off the stand. It literally just sits over top of the session and provides you clearance from the wind. And it looks like the ports are still wide open, so I can still plug into it without having to cut a hole in this thing. I'm a little concerned about that opening right there because you might see some foam on the video, but I guess we'll try that out. Anyway, I'm gonna rock a piss and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, I'm back. I've already started putting it on here. I was wrong. There wasn't a spot for the USB cable in the side. So I literally just took the Cabela's pocket knife and made one. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing fitted on here. Yeah, that was my concern, is that it may pick up the foam, but I'm gonna try a quick record here if we have battery life. We do have battery life. And then we'll see if I actually put the hole in the right location for the camera, if I can find the cable. Oh yeah, okay. That'll work. We got lights. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on. We'll grab the footage from it and see how bad it looks. Let's check that out. We do have battery life, so we'll see how the audio is on this. Hey, look, it's me. You're looking at me. Okay, that worked out perfectly. Like, honestly, that couldn't have been any better. I honestly couldn't have been any better. Now, the other thing I've been complaining a lot about is my tackle bag. The old, you're probably wondering why I put it over there. It's because I threw it over there. Why? Because I'm not using it anymore. The other night after we went fishing, I got some onset friggin' tendon. Remember I had tendonitis in this shoulder a couple, like last year around this time? And I wasn't treating it right. I was just ignoring it. And it never went away until like November when I started doing potassium treatments. Well, I was out of potassium. So I went to Walmart and bought a bottle of potassium, time released, and a bottle of calcium magnesium. The reason for this is because you mix potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sodium, and you get this really neat electrolyte reaction, which turns out to be pretty dope. So I picked that up, but while I was there, I went over to the fishing aisle to see if, see what kind of different hooks they had and stuff, because we've been using a lot of live bait lately to fish. And they had on the end cap fishing bags, like by a company called Plano. So I was like, all right, I opened it up and there was like well, let me show you. I ended up buying it. It was $34.97. Boom. Yes, it's camouflaged. I dig it. I got all my tackle in here now. But what's nice is the bag was $34.97 and it came with these 4 freaking Plano boxes. I had to pack them, mind you, and I had to build them too. Put the inserts in, by I mean that. And then I got all my soft baits right here. In the front, I got my tools such as the measuring tape and the dehooking tool. I should get my black fillet knife and put it in here too, just so I have it. And then on this side here, I got a bunch of other soft plastics and stuff. And over here, I got all my terminal tackle, my swivels, my everything. Anything that's terminal tackle related, I put it on this side. So it comes with a shoulder strap, so you can strap it to your arm and go. It's got another pouch in the back here where you can put stuff like more plastics or whatever. You can probably put a water bottle on here if you wanted to, but I don't really care about that. And it's got another zipper in the front here that I haven't even populated. Like, this thing's stacked. So I was super stoked when I saw that for $34.97. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna scoop that up. And then last night, because yeah, we went fishing yesterday. I didn't bring the camera with me, so I should have. Because like my buddy Jean and my friend Deb, they went out fishing in the morning and then I joined them at 4, well, a little later than 4. And then we went out and fished again. But in the morning, Jean was like, he was catching a bunch of fish. He caught a bunch of bass. I think Deb caught a bass too. And they had the kids on the boat, so they were catching fish and stuff. So then when I got there, my buddy's dad was showing him how to clean fish. He's got an electric carving knife for doing that, so it's pretty dope. So he was cleaning up the fish, and while he's cleaning up the fish, I'm at the end of the dock with the bait caster and a trick worm on a friggin' EWG, and I'm just like sailing it out at the neighbor's dock, sailing it out, and then I see a little bit of movement under the dock through the old Berkeley's there, and I'm just like, oh yeah, so I skip the friggin' worm underneath the dock and just start tap, 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 and the bass, douche. I'm like, set the hook right through his friggin' dome. Reel him in, bring him up, threw him back. He was maybe a half pounder. I just, wanted to get some fish on the board already before we even got on the boat. And then I'm looking down and I can see a whole bunch of rock bass underneath their dock. So I just like drop the trick worm down and just start jigging, vertical jigging. And like big chungus friggin' rock bass comes over and just horks it back. So I set the hook on that jerk face, get him out of the water. So I already had 2 fish on the board before we even jumped in the boat. Get in the boat, we go over to the locations. Like we tried some different spots. My buddy caught another bass at the one spot, but couldn't find anything else there. And then we all switched over to these worms. I don't have the worms on me, but the next time we're out fishing, which is probably going to be this Saturday, I got to show you these worms. Deb found them down, I think she said Sunridge, maybe South River. I think it was South River. They're called glowworms. They look like your regular everyday worm, but they're freaking neon green. And when you stab them with a hook and they bleed, it looks like you poked a highlighter. It's disgusting, but the fish love them. So yesterday, once we were on the boat, like I said, my buddy caught that bass, and then there wasn't much action to go by. So we ended up finding an area where I thought there could be bass, but it was literally sunfish and perch heaven. So the perch were hanging out underneath the boat, and this is the reason why I kind of wish I had the GoPro with me, because I was having a blast picking on them. I dropped the minnow down, the worm down, and just started jigging, and I could see through the Berkeleys. Like the water was like a mere glass, like there was no waves or anything. I could see through the Berkeleys, the perch sitting there nipping at it, and I pull it away from him, Then finally the perch would get pissed off and just hork it back. And when the moment he horked it back, set the hook and bring them up. They're just like little perch. They weren't even that big. Like they weren't the jumbos I get at ice fishing, but it was still fun catching the little idiots. And I'm giggling away while doing this, and they're looking at me laughing. Like, what are you laughing about? I'm like, dude, if you could just see what I can see right now. Like, this perch is getting pissed. Oh, it was such a fun time. But yeah, we're going to go out this Saturday and fish some more. And I will have the camera with me, because the camera now is, well, I want to test out this Windsock. And that hole I made in the side, you can see the little hole. With the Cabela's pocket knife, not sponsored, I can plug in my battery pack, keep this thing charged, and I can plug it into the computer and download the video. So that is dope. And this here should cause the camera to overheat really, really fast in the summer. Because everybody knows GoPros love to overheat, right? Never understood why they didn't paint them white. Why go black? I guess so people could stealth record in Walmart. Because Walmart loves it when you record in there. Trust me, they do. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? It's a new day. It's a new day. I just finished, well, last night I went to Canadian. I can't even find it where the hell I put it. There, no. I have no idea where I put it. There it is. I went last night to Canadian Tire and I bought some new line, 30-pound Power Pro. Reason being is I was using that 10-pound this crap here that I bought before. This, it's not crap, it's actually not bad, but I don't know, it's just, it breaks really easily. And I was like, I kind of want something a little heavier on my bait caster. Well, I didn't realize the line I bought was blue. So I just brought the bait caster in and spooled it up. I'm gonna grab my keys here and we're gonna head out to the truck. So I'm gonna put the bait caster back on, pre-tie a leader, because tomorrow we're going out to my buddy Jean's house. And we're gonna head back on the boat and we're gonna go fishing. And that's gonna be part of another video, because I'm gonna wear the Session with the new microphone cover. Oh, I got my bag here, if you're wondering. I forgot to bring it out. I managed to fill up most of the Plano boxes. I brought in the old lures and from the other fishing bag and grabbed all the good ones and left all the Dollarama ones behind. By Dollarama, I mean those cheap ones I got from Wish.com and Amazon that just don't swim right. Didn't bother bringing them with me because I was like, holy crap, these are garbage. Even though a couple of them I did manage to catch walleye on last year, but you know, whatever. So I gotta mount this reel back on the rod. It's kind of windy out right now, but that's fine. Tonight we're going to play pool. So I won't be bringing you guys to that because they play copyright music and I don't feel like dealing with that nonsense. Oh, I got a box of baits in there. Yeah, I guess I slammed on the brakes a little hard. My buddy's road there the other day when we were going out fishing. A freaking deer jumped in front of me. And I hit the brakes and, well, now my bucket's way down there and my friggin' mystery tackle box is way down there. And let's see if I can hook it with a eye here and pull it back. This is a great way to break your rod, by the way. Come here, buddy.
Is there anything in here that I want to keep? I got the room in the bag for it. What do we got here? We got some headbangers. We'll put those in the bag. We got this really weird jig. Headbanger rocker head. This probably goes with these guys. I don't even know. This is like a crawfish of some fashion. We got some more bullet weights. Got one of these jobbies, but it's missing the skirt. A spoon. And of course, the Dibble fishing tips. Oh, it actually explains how to use that headbanger. That's kind of cool. Anyway, I'm gonna put my reel back on my rod. And then I'm debating on tying on a Flurro leader. See, I had this thing attached to it, but the funny thing is, it was actually working at my buddy's house. I zipped this underneath the dock, the neighbor's dock, and caught a bass with it, and then I dropped it off his dock and caught a friggin' rock bass with it. Like, these speed worms are pretty dope. But right now, what I need to do is we need to attach this reel to this rod and then run my line through the guides. But right now I need to detach this reel from this rod because I have the line wrapped around the reel holder. Oh boy. So I'm hoping this Power Pro holds up. It's got some pretty good claims. Like, it's like, oh, it's the toughest line on the planet, and it's like smooth casting and blah blah blah, was a bling bling. So we'll see. I remember last year the boys were using this shit, but then this year I caught whaling using spider wire. Guys, remember when I used spider wire? That stuff was bunk. I hated spider wire. But the box really gave this piss some freaking cred, so. Then again, if I was selling a product, I wouldn't say don't buy it, it sucks. I'd be like, buy my shit. It's the best shit you'll ever buy in the history of buying shit. Then you buy it, and then I'm like, psych. Make sure I get it through every eyelid, and I did. I'm just gonna loop it back here. I'm gonna grab some Flurro. Thought I put in this side, but apparently I did not. There it is. Gonna rip off a nice chunk. We're gonna tie on a Flurro leader. I'm figuring I might as well get rigged up now before we get out there tomorrow, so I'm not sitting in the boat when it's potentially windy trying to do this. Well, my teeth can't chew through it. Pretty sure bass's won't. Pike, however, that's another story. So I got 30-pound Power Pro onto a 12-pound Flurro shield. And the funny part is, 30-pound Power Pro is still thinner. So that's pretty dope. So basically, the way how I do this, it's probably not the right way, but it's how I found it online, is you take your leader line, you wrap it like this, you take your other line, you pass it through the hoop, doesn't matter how much you use, you're cutting off the tag end, and then you basically wrap it over, wrap it over, wrap it over, wrap it over, a bunch of times. I'm gonna go 7 wraps, and then on your 7th and final wrap, come back up, go back through the hoop. The wind will let you. Lubricate it. And that there is how you tie on a leader. And as you can see, it's just a tiny little knot. Should go through your line guides. And you bust out your line cutter. In this case, I'm using the Gerber suspension. Make sure you're cutting the tag ends and not your line. And boom shakalaka, you got yourself a Flurro leader on a braid line. And that's a lot of leader. So that way there, if I do break off, not a big deal, not a big fuss.
So I'm just gonna put that set up in that box because whatever. But yeah, I also bought a little something for the bugs, and I'm kind of pissed off that I bought it yesterday because it turns out I got a coupon on my Canadian Tire app, and today I could have made 5 times the Canadian Tire money by buying bug spray or insect repellent. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, I bought this stuff here. My buddy said it's really good. He goes a lot of backwoods lakes, and he puts this shit on. It's a cream. It's like a suntan lotion, if you will. You put it on your skin, rub it in, and then you're good for 8 hours. He said he goes back there, and he never gets bitten by black flies. So that alone was like sold. Do I want to put a bullet weight on the end? You know what? Why not? Let's put a bullet instead of a cannonball. If I can find my line. The wind kind of grabbed it and took off with it, so appreciate that. What am I doing? Tying the hook first. So for hooks, I bought some more hooks there. I think I showed them last time on the channel, but I just stuffed them all in here. Just some basic hooks. I don't know if that's weed I'm smelling or if that's a skunk. I'm hoping it's weed. You'll never hear me say that. I'm just gonna fire one of these mustads on here. Friggin' love mustad hooks. The other option I had was these guys here, which would probably be pretty good. A size 2 finesse rig, but we're probably gonna be using some live bait tomorrow, but I may switch it up to some not live bait at some point in time just because I do that. All right, I'm gonna go back through. Should have moved that hook up a bit, but yeah, I want that hook up higher. You know what, I'm just gonna leave it there. Good enough. I probably won't be running this drop shot rig for too long. I should just not be lazy and put a cannonball on. Let's do that. Now, if you're wondering why I'm setting up for a drop shot, is because it's been fire lately. Drop shot rigs have been the juice. So there we go. Ouch, that's a sharp hook. So there's the drop shot rig there. We got our cannonball on there and our hook. It's aimed sideways. Shouldn't make a difference. Yeah, this this new setup that I have going on with the bag here, so much better. So much more organized. Until I go after my hard plastics, then I'm probably going to be swearing, but a pack of soft plastics the other day. I bought these guys here, some power baits. They don't really have a smell to them, but just a standard little finesse worm. So you can take these, stick them on the hook, dangle them. You can probably wacky rig them too. Should be pretty good. But like I said, we're going to start off with some live bait, and if that there doesn't work, we'll switch it up. Also got the Zebco here, which will be coming out. I got the Zebco rigged up with a weight and a hook as well. This is what I was picking on the other fish with. Might change that up too, I don't know. It's only 10-pound mono, so don't really want to put anything too extensive on it. But yeah, this will be my setup for tomorrow. Power Pro and whatever the hell that freaking fluorocarbon is. See if that holds out. Should cast nice. Should be able to do some damage. All rigged up and ready to rock. I also have a spare bait caster here with 30-pound braid on it. Oh boy. And then we got the old Zebco telescopic. I tried to use this the other day and I was like, holy crap, casting this. You need light lures for this. Friggin' noodle rod, boys. All right, let's get you guys out of here. Grab the bag, and this is gonna go in the truck. that's all rigged up. We're ready for tomorrow to party. I'm friggin' stoked. Like I said, tonight we're hitting up the pool hall. And then tomorrow, early morning fishing. Should be an interesting day. I think Deb said she's got some more of those green worms. I think I showed you guys those in the video already. If not, I'll show them tomorrow. Am I gonna be able to push my seat back with that bag back there? Oh yeah, that's sweet. Okay, not too much going on in this vlog. Like I said, I went to Canadian Tire yesterday. I scooped up a pack of lures. Mainly I went there for the bug spray, but I was like, you know what, while I'm here, let's get some Power Pro. Because I remember the kids using it last year and they're non-stop like, oh, just go get some 30-pound Power Pro. Now I think some of them are running like 50 pound friggin' trilene or some crazy shit. I'm like, why are you running 50 pounds? You're not trolling. Biggest fish you're gonna find, like the whole idea behind the 30-pound and the reason why I wanted the Power Pro is because there was a YouTube video I watched where they did an abrasion test, because apparently this shit's super abrasion resistant. And what they did was they put like a 5-pound weight on the end of each one of the lines, and then they started hitting it with a file, and the Power Pro was the last to break. The Power Pro held up the best. Now, obviously fish don't have files in their mouth, but some of them got some pretty sharp dentures, i.e. pike and muskie. Flurro also has that abrasion resistance. However, the problem with Flurro is it's got the memory of an elephant. So if you put Flurro on like a spinning rod or on a bait cast or anything, after 6 months, if you don't use that bait caster or the segment of the line that doesn't get used, looks like a telephone cord from a 1980s telephone, okay? She's permanently coiled. I've seen people who don't change their line, their monofilament or their Flurro on their spinning setups, and then they go the next year to use it. They just let their rod sit in the garage or whatever, and they go the next year to use it, and they cast it out, and like what happened to me. Remember when I cast it out down at the with that spinning setup, and I never changed the line or anything. I was using the old rod, and I cast it, and it all just blew off the friggin' spool. Well, that's why. That mono had some freaking memory and ejecto-cedo, cuz. So to avoid that, change your line every year before you go fishing. You can go ahead and use old line. You might be okay with it. But if you notice that you're casting it and the cast is not going as far as it did the previous season, or you're casting it and the entire spool is ejecting into the water, or you're casting it and you're seeing some mega coils, chances are your line's got a lot of memory and it's no good anymore. So you can keep using it if you want, if you don't care, if you don't have the money for line, and you're able to cast it without ejecting the entire spool. Because let me tell you, when that happened in the lake, I sat there for a bit trying to de-bird's nest it. Then I was like, what am I doing? Why do I care? And I just cut the line. And I tried casting it again, and it was horrible. Like, it did it again. I was like, yeah, this whole friggin' line is garbage. But so is the spool. The reel. The reel's like a 2-to-1 freaking gear ratio. It was horrible. So, like, if you catch a fish, you're sitting there and you're reeling it for like a half an hour to go nowhere. So I didn't see the point. Now, one thing I don't like about that new fishing bag is there's nowhere to put a rod. Like, I can't put a telescopic on it. I might be able to jam the telescopic Zebco into the back pouch and it might hold, but there's nowhere to actually clip the rod to keep it on there, to have a rod in the bag like a backup. It'd be nice to, I'm going to keep the Zebco on me for finesse fishing. A lot of people are probably like, why don't you get a spinning rod set up so you don't look like such an idiot? The Zebco works. I've caught fish on that thing, so why not use it, you know? Why be difficult? That's that. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I know it wasn't really all that high action and awesome and stuff, but we got some upgrades to do to the 3D printer. And then once those upgrades are done, I have some printing to do. I got some modifications to some lures. I have a whopper plopper coming out that I want to try. My whopper plopper works. However, it sinks if you leave it still. So I modified the template, lowered the infill to increase the buoyancy, and change the orientation, which the way I'm printing it, so that the tail grabs more water and spins a little quicker. I also made the hole that the through wire goes through a little bit wider, so I don't have to drill it out like I did on the other one. And then we should be golden. I would like to get some spring steel, because the problem is when a fish does hit it, bite or no bite, it bends the steel that the plopper sits on, then you got to bend it back. If you keep doing that, you're going to weaken the metal and it's going to fall apart. So I need to find a spot that sells straight spring steel, like Bruce spring steel. That'd be pretty sweet. That's 22 gauge, and that'll do the job. 24 gauge, sorry. That'll do the job. Whatever happens, happens. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. Like I said, tomorrow we're going fishing. I'll have the GoPro session on me with the new mic blocker thing and a battery in my ass. We're going to record the whole friggin' fishing session, try and make something out of it, and hopefully you enjoy. So until next time, guys, live it to win it, and peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.